At first, everything looked perfect. A beautiful apartment in Manhattan. Speaking invitations from Fortune 500 companies. A TED Talk viewed over 25 million times. Hollywood producing credits. A happy life. A growing career. At 51, Monica Lewinsky finally seems at peace. But then, something changed. Or rather, something was never what it seemed. Because for 20 years, everyone thought she disappeared. They thought she faded into irrelevance. They thought the scandal had buried her forever. But what if I told you that at 51 years old, Monica Lewinsky is not only worth more now than she was in the 90s, but she engineered her comeback in complete silence, without anyone noticing? And one detail? One tiny, overlooked detail from 2014 changed everything. Stay with me. Because the next part changes how you see her forever. Most people remember 1998. The blue dress. The Oval Office. The impeachment hearings. Linda Tripp. Kenneth Starr. 70 million people watching. But here's what most people never knew. Monica Lewinsky wasn't some lost girl looking for fame. She was born in 1973 in San Francisco, but raised in Beverly Hills, the heart of old Hollywood money. Her father? A successful oncologist. Her mother? A socialite and author. Her great-uncle? A billionaire art collector. She went to Beverly Hills High School. Then Lewis and Clark College in Portland, psychology major, theater minor. She was funny. Curious. Romantic. A little naive, yes. But never malicious. She took an unpaid White House internship in the summer of 1995, not for power, but for purpose. She wanted to help people. And then, she met him. A charismatic, powerful man twice her age. He said her name like no one else did. She was 22. He was 49. The most powerful man in the world. And that's where everything took a dark turn. But not for the reason the media told you. When the story broke in January 1998, it wasn't just news. It was a public execution broadcast live. Monica was 24 years old. Within 48 hours, her name was in every newspaper on planet Earth. She was called every word you can imagine and several you can't. She lost her job at the Pentagon. She lost her safety. Secret Service agents interrogated her for 11 hours straight. She was followed by helicopters. Paparazzi climbed her mother's fence. Her own lawyer, William Ginsburg, turned her into a late-night punchline. He held press conferences without telling her. He charged $50,000 in appearance fees and gave her nothing. She couldn't get a job. Anywhere. She applied at a retail store in New York, they laughed her out. She moved to London in 2005 to escape. Got a master's degree in social psychology at the London School of Economics. Her thesis? Asterisk, In Search of the Inside Out, a qualitative study of public shame. Asterisk. She was studying her own destruction academically. And for nearly a decade, her net worth was under $100,000. She borrowed money from her father. She lived in a small apartment. She couldn't afford therapy. But no one knew what would happen next. Because she stopped running. Here's where the story takes its sharpest turn. April 2014. 16 years after the scandal. Monica Lewinsky was 40 years old and completely invisible to the public. Then she wrote an essay for Vanity Fair. Title, Shame and Survival. It wasn't angry. It wasn't bitter. It was surgical. Controlled. Honest. She wrote. Asterisk, it's time to burn the beret and bury the blue dress. I turned 40. It's time to stop hiding. Asterisk. That essay went viral. But not as gossip, as testimony. Then came the TED Talk in March 2015. Vancouver. A red circle on a beige stage. No notes. No teleprompter. She stood there shaking slightly but steady and said. Asterisk, public shaming as a blood sport has to stop. Asterisk. That video has over 25 million views today. And that's when something changed. Hollywood called. Not for a tell-all, for a producer. Ryan Murphy asked her to consult on impeachment, American Crime Story. She became a producer. She had creative control. She made sure the story was told accurately, not sensationally. Her speaking fees jumped from $5,000 to $50,000 per event. She spoke at Oxford, at MIT, at advertising giant WPP's Global Summit. She partnered with Kate Spade New York for an anti-shaming campaign. She didn't chase fame. She weaponized her past on her own terms. And that's where things got strange. Because while everyone was calling her a victim, she was quietly building an empire. Imagine being known for the worst moment of your life. For 20 years. Imagine having to introduce yourself at a dinner party and watching their eyes change when they hear your last name. Imagine almost ending your life. She has said, in interviews, that she thought about suicide during the worst of it. That her mother had to hide her shoelaces. Now imagine standing on a TED stage at 42, not crying, not angry, but calmly saying, asterisk, you survived what you thought would kill you. And now you get to define who you become. Asterisk. That's not a comeback story. That's reclamation of the self. But here's the part most people still don't know. Because the money? The net worth? It's not shocking because of the number. It's shocking because of what she had to overcome to get any number at all. Alright. Let's talk numbers. Because you clicked for the net worth and here it is. According to multiple verified financial sources, celebrity net worth, 2024 to 2025 reports, and public speaking industry data. Monica Lewinsky's net worth at 51 years old equals $1.5 million to $3 million. Now wait, that's not Hollywood rich. That's not a Kardashian. That's not Oprah. So why is that number shocking? Because of where she came from financially. Year estimated net worth, life status. 1998, $50,000, intern salary, living with parents. 2001, $30,000, couldn't get hired anywhere. 2006, $75,000, borrowing money, London student. 2014, $200,000, pre-TED, pre-comeback. 2020, $1 million, speaking plus producing plus endorsements. 2025, $1.5 million to $3 million, owns NYC apartment, equity deals. She didn't inherit wealth. She didn't sell a tell-all memoir for millions, she famously turned down offers. She didn't do reality TV. She didn't pose nude for money. She built everything, everything, after being one of the most hated women in America. And she did it in her 40s. After most people had buried her obituary. That's the shock. Not the number. The math of survival. Here's what nobody tells you. Monica Lewinsky never asked for your pity. She never asked for forgiveness because she didn't do anything illegal. She was 22. He was 49. He was the boss. She was the intern. And yet, she was the only one who paid publicly. She paid with her 20s. She paid with her safety. She paid with her reputation. And at 51, she finally owns her name again. So when you see that net worth, $1.5 million to $3 million, don't compare it to a celebrity. Compare it to zero. Because that's where she started after the world burned her down. The real question isn't how much is Monica Lewinsky worth? It's how many of us would have survived, let alone thrived, if the whole world had watched our worst mistake at 24? Because what she did next, even Hollywood couldn't script it. And that story? That's the one they still don't want you to hear.